you ever felt like your work is draining your wallet and your life more than it's filling them up? Well, today I'm going to reveal 5 powerful signs that it may just be time to retire ASAP. And if you're new here, I'm Dr. Jeff Anzalone, a periodontist on a mission to get you out of the rat race to get to the point where work is optional. If you haven't already, download the free passive income guide, links below this video. Now, many people continue to work because they need the money, maybe they need the health benefits, or to continue to grow that 401k balance. But there comes a point when the extra money coming in doesn't really outweigh the costs, both financial and personal, of continuing to work. Now, when you start to notice any of these 5 signs that we're going to discuss in this video in your life, it might be time to start thinking about retiring. And the first sign is this: when you realize what your most important asset is, and that's time. Okay? So the reason number one to consider to retire is that you understand that time is the only resource you can't get back. Now, while it's true that there's always a way that you can go out and you can earn more money, or maybe if you have a financial loss, you can recover from it, but time operates differently, right? Early in your career, money often seems more important than your time. I know it did for me right out of dental school. Now, I was in my late 20s, and the thought of retirement back then, it seemed like light years away. Now, early on, I understand that you're focused mainly on earning money, and you may be willing to sacrifice time, like I was back then, to increase your savings. However, as you start to accumulate wealth, you start to realize how precious this guy is, time. Now, I've known people who've actually postponed retirement thinking that they had plenty of time left over. Unfortunately, some of them fell either ill, or some of them, even worse, passed away soon after retiring, never getting to enjoy the time that they had actually saved for. This perspective might not be what you want to hear, yet it's very important to consider, especially when we're talking about retirement planning. Being financially prepared, of course, is important, but it's also vital to not delay your retirement so long as you no longer have the time to enjoy it. Now remember, once you're financially stable, prioritize your time. Money is renewable, and time, as you know, is irreplaceable. So when you're ready, make sure that to balance your financial security with the value of your time, ensuring that you retire when it's right for you, not just when most people think about it, when they can afford to do. All right. Now, the second reason to consider retiring is you may need to improve this guy, your health. Now, I want you to imagine somebody who's just a year away from retirement after 40 years of treating patients as a dentist. Now, this person has likely spent decades putting up with patients, dealing with employees, and hopefully maybe paying off that mortgage and raising a family. Typically, somebody that has put in this many hours could likely be somebody who's what? They're overworked, maybe they're burned out, they're tired, they're exhausted, all these things. And by the time that many people actually reach retirement, they could potentially feel this way. And all of these issues can, think about it, lead to serious health problems such as depression, anxiety, stroke, for people in our career, physical pain, shoulder, neck, back, hand pain, and heart issues. Now, as you approach your peak earning years, you might also be facing your peak stress years. If your job demands a lot from you, it's not just that your time is being consumed by that job, your health is at stake too. And once it starts to deteriorate, it can be very difficult, sometimes even impossible to fully recover. Now, as a dentist, I understand both the physical and mental toll it takes on my body to practice day in and day out. Not only the stress of running a practice, but dealing with employees and a constant decline in what insurance companies pays us. I mean, it just takes a big toll. But also, again, the neck pain, the back pain, the arm pain that goes along with being hunched over a chair year after year while practicing. Nobody wants to retire only to find out that they can't enjoy it because they're too unhealthy. Now, if you notice that work is starting to take a toll, not just on your time, but also on your health, it might be time to retire. Retirement could give you the chance to actually start focusing on reducing your stress, exercising more, eating better, and taking care of who's most important, you, yourself. This way, you can really enjoy the next chapter of your life and do everything that you look forward to doing. All right, moving on to number 3. The third reason you may want to consider retiring early is to spend more time with family and friends. Basically, what you're going to be doing is focusing on improving your relationships. And the quality of our relationships greatly influence our overall happiness and satisfaction that we have in life. Consider the typical work week. Maybe you work 40 hours, 50 hours, 60 hours, whatever. And then you have to spend additional hours commuting, getting to and from work. And then when you're off work, you've got to do errands, right? You have to do household chores. Now, after all of this, how much quality time do you have really left to enjoy yourself and focus on these relationships? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not against working. I'm currently still treating patients 3 days a week, yet I'm in the process of transitioning out of my practice to work more in real estate, to create content like this video that I've made, because I love this type of work. It allows me to work really from anywhere, but more importantly, I'm able to connect to other people in my position that want to reach the point where work is optional. And now I'm starting to be able to help them achieve this. Too often people say they don't have time to catch up with their family or their friends because their schedules are just too packed. If you're financially secure enough to consider stepping back from work, think about what you're sacrificing in terms of relationships. Are your work and other commitments preventing you from spending quality time with those that you care about? If so, retiring could allow you to focus more on these relationships, giving you the time and the energy to really enjoy them. Now, the fourth reason to consider retiring now is the recognition that your best years are limited. Your best years are limited. Many people say at 60, maybe they're thinking, well, I've got a long time left. Maybe I'm going to live till I'm 90. So it's giving them 30 more years. However, think about this. Not all these years offer the same quality of life, right? You're likely to have more energy and better health in your early 60s than you would be in your mid to late 80s. It's important to realize that while you may have 30 years of life left, your health span, those years you remain healthy and energetic enough to enjoy what you love, like maybe traveling or doing hobbies, might be much shorter than you think. I personally know people that are in their early 60s who are very well prepared financially to retire, but they choose to continue to work to maximize their Social Security benefits or just save just a little bit more money, thinking that they're going to have plenty of good years, quote, left. While this might be true, and hopefully it is, the quality of those later years can gradually start to decline, especially continuing to work the way that they're doing now is negatively impacting their health. When planning for your retirement, remember, while you might live for another 10, 20, or 30 years, those years are not created equal. Even working an extra few years could mean sacrificing some of the best quality years of your life. It's essential to weigh these considerations once you're financially able to really step back and retire. So I want you to ask yourself, what is the cost of continuing to work in terms of the quality of your best years? Should you retire now to pursue these activities you truly enjoy? You're going to have to ask yourself that. I don't have the answer for you. You know about your situation better than I do. So it may be time to sit back, reflect on this before you move forward. Now, the fifth reason to consider retiring now is that you're now that you're already financially ready to do so. So throughout this video, I've touched on various aspects, but achieving financial readiness is one of the most important points. I've noticed that after years and years of coaching older doctors and dentists, many of them just find it hard to retire after spending 30, 35 or more years working. As a matter of fact, my dad is actually facing this dilemma now. Often our jobs become a part of our, quote, identity. And even if the work adds stress or takes time away from our family and health, just the thought alone of not working for some people can just be terrifying. How many times have you seen somebody that should be retired, they say this: well, you know what? I know I need to retire, but I just don't know what I would do. There's no way I can just sit around the house all day. Okay. But however, it's important to recognize, again, the cost of working just for the sake of it. If you're financially able, meaning that your investments, your social security, any pensions or other type of income sources are sufficient to pretty much support your lifestyle, then continuing to work might not be the best choice. This is especially true if you're just like many people, working out of habit rather than necessity or passion. Work should have a purpose. Now, if you genuinely love what you do and it doesn't compromise your relationships, your health, or personal interests, then by all means, keep doing it as long as you can. But it's important to ensure that work fits into your ideal life, vision, and it doesn't consume it. So think about it. What about you? Do any of these reasons that we talked about today resonate with you? If so, maybe it's time to rethink your retirement strategy. And if you need more encouragement about early retirement, do me a favor, check out this next video.